Hello friends, how are you all? Welcome to our CSS training session. Today we will talk about a very important topic, CSS forms. You must have seen CSS form in many places such as sign up forms and survey forms. Today we will learn how to make these forms visually appealing and user friendly using CSS. So let's start today's session. First of all, let's talk about input fields. These are the fields where user input text, email, passwords, etc. By applying CSS, you can make them more attractive, which makes it easier for users to interact with them. Let's see an example. Here is an example that I will open in the code editor. As you can see, there are three input fields, one for text, one for email, and one for password. For these fields, we are styling the following attributes: type, text, email, and password. Border 10 pixel solid, padding 10 pixel, margin is 5 pixel, border radius 4 pixel with 100% box border box sizing set to border box. These styles ensure the fields appear neat and take up the full width of the container. Now let's add some interactivity when the input fields are focused. We want to apply additional styles here. We use the focus pseudo class. For example, when the input field is focused, the border color changes to green. The outline is removed. Now when I focus on an input field, you can see that the border color changed to a greenish color. This adds a visually appealing effects, making it clear which field is currently active. Next we will see the text area placeholder. I will copy this example from here. You can see that there is a text area here. Now just like we styled the input fields, we are applying similar style to the text area. We are making the border solid with 10 pixel, padding and margin 5 pixel, border radius is 4 pixel. Height 100%, box sizing set to border box and enabling resize vertically. What does resizing do? It means that resizing is restricted to only vertical adjustment. For example, if I try to resize horizontally, it will not work. When the height is not set to 100%, the text area might shrink automatically and I would need to manually resize it. By setting resize vertical, the text area can only be resized vertically and not horizontally. For the focus state, we have given a border color similar to the input fields and removed the outline. When I click on the text area, you can see the border color change to green. Next, let's talk about the select drop down element, which allows the user to choose from multiple options. We will see this with an example. I will copy this example here. Solid, padding specified, margin specified, border radius 4 pixel, which gives the select element rounded corners with 100%, so it takes up the full width of the container. Box sizing set to border box. When you focus on the select drop down, the border color changes, just like we did for these input fields. Here we have three options inside the select drop down. Now if I click on it, you can see the border color change to green when focused. This makes it visually clear and the element is active. Now let's talk about checkboxes and radio buttons, which are used to select options. Let's see this with an example. In this example, the input element has the attribute type checkbox. Similarly, for radio buttons, the attribute is type radio. Margin, we have set the margin as 0.10 pixel on the right side to create a small gap of 10 pixels between the checkbox or radio button and its label. For the radio buttons, the margin is set to 15 pixel 00 to ensure proper spacing. And the labels are aligned correctly. Labels, each box and radio buttons has a corresponding label like option 1, option 2 and so on. For radio buttons, the group name is specified to allow selection of only one option at a time within the same group. When you check a checkbox or select a radio button, you can see it working as expected. Now let's talk about the form button, which is essential part of a form such as submit or reset button. Let's see this with an example. In this example, we are using input elements with the type submit and type reset. Background color, font color, border, padding, margin, border radius, and cursor. Set to pointer. So when you hover over the button, the cursor change to a pointer indicating clickable. The font size to set to 16 pixel to ensure the text inside the button is clearly visible for hover effects. When hovering over the submit button, the background color changes to a specific value like this. For the reset button, a similar effect is applied but with a different background color. For focus effects, when the button is focused, an outline appears and a box shadow is added to the background, giving the button a subtle visual highlight. So friends, another important aspect of forms is the alignment of form element. We can easily align form elements using flex bar, box or CSS grid. Let's see this with an example. The form container class is used inside it. Display is set to flex. Flex direction is set to column. So the item are stacked vertically. Aligned item is set to flex start, ensuring the element are aligned at the start of the container. The width of the container is set to 400 pixel. Margin is set to auto, centering the form both horizontally and vertically. For the form group, each form group has a margin bottom of 15 pixel and the width to 100 pixel 100%. Labels inside the form groups are styled with display block and margin bottom is 5 pixel. For input fields, text areas and select elements, padding is set to 10 pixel, border radius and border are styled to give a clean look. The form is structured with multiple form groups, one for text input, one for select drop downs, etc. When this layout is applied, the entire form is properly aligned, the looks clean and professional. By using flexbox, the form elements and perfectly centered, both vertically and horizontally, creating a visually pleasing and organized appearance. Now we will talk about form statuses such as enabled, disabled and the read-only state. First of all, let me tell you that forms are normally is in enabled mode, allowing user interaction. Now we will also look at the disabled mode. In the disabled mode, form elements are not interactive. Their appearance change to indicate their state. Typically, the background become gray and users cannot click or type in the fields. I will copy the example here and set the form fields to disabled using the disabled attribute. Once applied, you can see that the form is completely disabled. The fields are grayed out and the background has gray color. You can't interact with the fields. Example, clicking or typing is not possible. Additionally, you can style the disabled state. For example, you can change the color of the text inside the disabled field to red. You can also change the background color to any color you prefer instead of the default gray. This allows you to customize the appearance of the form in its disabled state, depending on your design needs. We will now look at the styling of enabled forms. Let's directly move to styling form elements such as checkboxes and radio buttons. Friends, let's see this with an example. In this example, I have used input element with the type checkbox and type radio. The attribute selector is used for styling. For the checkboxes, a margin right for 10 pixel applied. A green color and specified font style are applied to the checkboxes. For the radio buttons, the labels are styled with a color of blue and a defined font size. In the example, there are 4 elements, 2 checkboxes, one checked and one unchecked, and two radio buttons, one selected or one not unselected. The styling changes dynamically based on the checked or unchecked state for the element. When you click on a checkbox or a radio button, its styling changes, example color or other properties. As the element is checked, you can see its color and styling update accordingly. Today we learned how to stylize various HTML for elements including input fields, text areas, buttons, checkboxes and radio buttons. CSS provides a powerful way to make forms visually appealing and user friendly. If you have any question or want to learn more, feel free to ask in the comments. Keep smiling and happy coding. Thank you.